Good morning, Davao de Oro. Good morning, DepEd family. And good morning, Mathematics 10 learners. Welcome to Z Radio 88.5. Z-eskwela, siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw. I am Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda of Mabini National High School, the Shoreline's finest school in Davao de Oro. And I will be your Mathematics 10 teacher for today. I know that you have been busy answering the modules given to you by your teachers. Nonetheless, do spare time to listen as we discuss another lesson in Mathematics 10. So today, let us continue to learn more regarding our lesson in Mathematics 10. Be in your study area as we begin our lesson for today. Prepare your modules in Mathematics 10, some paper and scratch paper, your pencils and ball pens. Also prepare some water and other materials you need to learn. Be comfortable and listen well. Are you ready, my dear grade 10 learners? I'm sure you are. Come on, let us learn about illustrating combination using listing method. As we go through our lesson this morning, these are the things we expected to learn. In this lesson, you will be able to A. Illustrate combination of objects in a real-life situation. B. Determine the number of ways a combination may occur. C. Value the presence of combinations in our daily life. Before we go to our main topic this morning, let us have a review on permutations. Permutation is an arrangement of all or part of a set of objects with proper regard to order. For example, the possible choices you have in creating your GCash password. Arranging 5 different books in a shelf. Possible number of plate numbers can LTO create. This is an example of permutation because these examples, the order is important. Now, there are different methods in determining permutations. Methods in determining permutations. Number 1. Systematic listing. Number 2. Tree diagram. Number 3. Two-way table. Number 4. Fundamental counting principle. Now, let us have an example of how to determine a permutation in different methods. Review example. James invited his close friends 𝗍𝘂𝗶𝗂𝘀, Marvin, and Francisco to his 16th birthday, which will be held at Gold Ridge Resort. He prepared a special table with chairs placed in a row to be occupied by his 3 friends. How can they be seated in a row? Find the number of permutations using different methods. Let us try to use systematic method. Letter A. 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Marvin, and Francisco. Letter B. It could be 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Francisco, and Marvin. Letter C. Francisco, Marvin, and 𝗍𝘂𝘶. Letter D. Francisco, 𝗍𝘂𝘶, and Marvin. Letter E. Marvin, 𝗍𝘂𝘶, and Francisco. Letter F. Marvin, Francisco, and 𝗍𝘂𝘶. Therefore, there are 6 permutations, or there are 6 possible ways they can be seated in a row. Now, let us try finding the permutation using the tree diagram method. Tree diagram for our example problem. First, we have 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Marvin, Francisco. Then, 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Francisco, Marvin. Then, Marvin, 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Francisco. Followed by Marvin, Francisco, 𝗍𝘂𝘶. Next, we have Francisco, Marvin, 𝗍𝘂𝘶. Or Francisco, 𝗍𝘂𝘶, Marvin. Again, there are 6 possible ways James can arrange his friends in his birthday party. There is another method you can use to find the number of possible seating arrangement. It is by using fundamental counting principle. Fundamental counting principle states that if there are m ways to do one thing, n ways to do another, and o ways to do another, then there are m times n times o of doing those things. Now, let us try it. Come on! Remember this, using the fundamental counting principle can only tell the total possible outcome of the given situation, but it cannot get the exact list of the given situation. Based on our example, it can only tell us the total possible seating arrangement, but not the list of the seating arrangement. So, m times n times o is equal to 3 times 2 times 1 equals 6 possible seating arrangements. M equals 3. For in the first chair, there are 3 possible persons to sit, namely 𝗲𝗂𝗋𝗲, Marvin, and Francisco. Then, n is equal to 2. For in the second chair, only 2 persons can sit because the first seat is occupied. And lastly, O is equal to 1. For in the third chair, only 1 could sit. He is the last person to sit in the chair. It could be among the 3. Therefore, there is 6 possible seating arrangements, or the number of permutations are 6. Now, let us proceed to our main topic. Let us talk about combinations. Combinations, the number of ways of selecting from a set when the order is not important. Now, let us have different real-life examples. Let us try to illustrate each using listing method. Come on, my grade 10 learners! Example number 1. A group of students from Mabini National High School wants to visit Tagum City as part of their Lakbay Aral. A teacher suggested some nice places to be visited, namely Tagum City Historical and Cultural Center, represented by H, Botanical Park of Tagum City, represented by B, and Tagum City Rotary Park, represented by R. How many ways can a student select 2 out of the mentioned places? In the problem, the students will select 2 places out of 3 mentioned places. The order is not important in the problem, whether they will first select any of the 3 places. So, this is an example of combination. Now, let us list down all the possible places they will select without any order. Solutions. Remember, in combination, order is not important. Number 1. The students can select Tagum City Historical and Cultural Center, then go to Botanical Park of Tagum City, or vice versa. Number 2. They can go to Tagum City Historical and Cultural Center, then proceed to Tagum City Rotary Park, or vice versa. And number 3. They can go to Botanical Park of Tagum City, then go to Tagum City Rotary Park, or vice versa. So, these are the 3 possible places students can visit when they can go in Tagum City. So, there are 3 possible ways or 3 combinations. For now, let us have a break for some reminders from Z Radio, Z-eskwela 88.5. Do not go away, my dear learners. We are not yet done with our lesson. We will still have more examples when we get back. Just stay tuned and don't go away!
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix 𝗘𝗿𝗂𝗀𝗀𝘀 Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Welcome back, grade 10 learners. Now, let us continue our discussion. Please do take note and listen carefully, my grade 10 learners, as I will continue our lesson for today. Let us now have more real-life examples of combination. Example number 2. Mr. Avanzado selected 8 students in the entire grade 10 to represent in a math culminating activity. List down the ways Mr. Avanzado can select 2 students to work in the activity. Let us analyze first the problem. We will just select 2 students out of the 8 students, and the order is not important. So, this is an example of a combination. Solutions. Let us list down the possible ways that we can select 2 students out of 8. Let letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H represents 8 students. Remember, in combination, order is not important. So these are the list of the following students. Number 1, A and B, or B and A. Number 2, A and C, or C and A. Number 3, A and D, or D and A. Number 4, A and E, or vice versa. Number 5, A and F, or vice versa. Number 6, A and G, or vice versa. Number 7, A and H, or vice versa. Number 8, B and C, or C and B. Number 9, student B and student D, or vice versa. Number 10, student B and student E, or vice versa. Number 11, B and F, or F and B. Number 12, student B and G, or vice versa. Number 13, student B and H, or vice versa. Number 14, student C and D, or D and C. Number 15, student C and E, or vice versa. Number 16, student C and F, or vice versa. Number 17, student C and G, or G and C. Number 18, student C and H, or H and C. Now for number 19, student D and student E, or vice versa. Number 20, student D and F, or vice versa. Number 21, student D and student G, or student G and student D. Number 22, student D and student H, or vice versa. Number 23, student E and student F, or vice versa. Number 24, student E and student G, or student G and student E. Number 25, student E and student H, or vice versa. 26, student F and student G, or student G and student F. Number 27, student F and student H, or vice versa. Number 28, student G and student H, or student H and student G. So, all in all, we have 28 possible combinations. Therefore, there are 28 possible ways Mr. Avanzado can select 2 students to work in the activity out of 8 students. Now, let us have our next and last example. Please continue in listening and do take notes, my dear grade 10 learners. Example number 3. List all the possible winners in a raffle if you will select 3 winners out of 6 participants. In this case, there are no first place, second, and third place. We just need to select 3 winners out of 6 participants. So, this problem is an example of combination. Solutions. Let us list the possible winners. Let numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 represents the 6 participants. Remember, in combination, order is not important, or the order does not matter. So here is the list of the possible winners. Letter A. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 3. Letter B. It could be 1, 2, 4, or 4, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 4. Letter C. It could be 1, 2, 5, or 5, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 5. Letter D. It could be 1, 2, 6, or 6, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 6. Letter E. It could be 1, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 1, or 3, 1, 4. Letter F. It could be 1, 3, 5, 5, 3, 1, or 3, 1, 5. Letter G. It could be participant 1, participant 3, participant 6, or 6, 3, 1, or 3, 1, 6. Letter H. It could be 1, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 1, or 4, 1, and 5. Letter I. It could be 1, 4, 6, or 6, 4, 1, or 4, 1, 6. Letter J. It could be 1, 5, 6, or 6, 5, 1, or 5, 1, 6. Letter K. It could be 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 4. Letter L. 2, 3, 5, or 5, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 5. Letter M. 2, 3, 6, or 6, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 6. Letter N. It could be participant 2, participant 4, participant 5, or 5, 4, 2, or 4, 2, 5. Letter O. It could be 2, 4, 6, or 6, 4, 2, or 4, 2, 6. Letter P. It could be 2, 5, 6, or 6, 5, 2, or 5, 2, 6. Letter Q. 3, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 3, or 4, 3, 5. Letter R. It could be 3, 4, 6, or 6, 4, 3, or 4, 3, 6. Letter S. It could be 3, 5, 6, or 6, 5, 3, or 5, 3, 6. Letter T. It could be participant 4, participant 5, and participant 6, or participant 6, participant 5, and participant 4, or participant 5, participant 4, and participant 6. Therefore, there are 20 possible winners in a raffle if we will just select 3 out of 6 participants. I hope you learned something from our discussion. When we get back, we will have a generalization of the topic. I will also give some items in your modules which you will answer on your own. Let us have a break again for some reminders. But don't go away, my dear grade 10 learners. Here on Z Radio Z-eskwela 88.5. Siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw!
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, 𝗃𝗂𝗋𝗀 Architectural Construction and Supply, 𝗘𝗿𝗂𝗀𝗀 Construction and Supply, 𝗃𝗏𝗃 Builders Corporation, 𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃 Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
We are back, grade 10 learners. You have now learned on what is combination and how to illustrate it using listing method. Also, we have reviewed about permutations and the methods in determining it. Let us go back and define what is combination and permutation. Combinations: the number of ways of selecting from a set when the order is not important. Permutation is an arrangement of all or part of a set of objects with proper regard to order. Example of permutation: the possible choices you have in creating your GCash password. Arranging 5 different books in a shelf. Possible number of plate numbers can LTO create. Methods in determining permutations. Number 1. Systematic listing. Number 2. Tree diagram. Number 3. Two-way table. And number 4. Fundamental counting principle. As for our assessment, please continue to answer all the exercises in your Mathematics 10 module for quarter 3. Try to answer the activities honestly. Then, check them using the answer key provided to you. Be patient enough and do take time. Take some break and rest. Then, use what you have learned today to answer the tasks given to you by your respective teachers in the weekly home learning plan. Be sure to submit your output to your mathematics teachers on Friday. To all the listeners out there, especially to the Mathematics 10 learners with their parents, thank you so much for being with me and learning while being safe with your family. Again, this is Sir Julius Ernest R. Miranda of Mabini National High School. Be with us again next time as we tackle more Mathematics 10 topics. Only here on Z Radio 88.5, Z-eskwela, siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw.
Radyo Z-eskwela Executive and Technical Working Committee. The school's Division Superintendent, Euphemia T. Gamutin, CESO 5. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan. Curriculum Implementation Division OIC Chief, Dr. Arlene B. Lim. School Governance and Operations Division, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Program Director, Dr. Arlene B. Lim. Assistant Program Director, Noemi P. Canales. Members, Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Eldecris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Dr. Renato N. Pakpakin, Dr. Andy P. Cabodok, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangit, Ryan Villanueva, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Daylan S. Milabat, Medard D. Apit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Production and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judiland T. Yu, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riwen C. Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banyes. Social Media and Packaging Team: Christian Anhara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acosar Jr., May B. Istaniol, Richard H. Arellano, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo C. Gutierrez Jr., Jade Karen R. Arais, Eliza May Garsuta, Sedi S. Caballero, and Jane S. Caballero. Sa Radyo Z-eskwela, siguradong masaya. Right and only here at Z Radio 88.5, ang istasyong siguradong lingaw, siguradong kuyaw.